The movers and the shakers, number one, never let somebody censor you.
I am a native of Gabon.
Go back to the Holy Quran for solutions. Now the Quran bin Shah's
and you'll born Abdul-Jalil Imam Mahmoud Alhaji Jibril Imam Mustasha.
Look at your beauty beyond your physical appearance.
Why not join me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli, the son of Musa Kumo, as my guests and I throw you to life-changing stories. Okay, it's another Friday evening, and it's always a delight to come your way with the show. This is my Northern Achiever on Sagani TV with me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli. And you know how we do it on Sagani TV every Friday at 8:30 p.m. We bring prominent Northern Ghanaians who really have tried so hard to get to, some level where we call them achievers of the North. Today I have such a young man. I don't want to call him an old man. He's a young man, and he's doing a lot for himself, for Northern Ghana, and for the country as a whole. And so we are going to go for a quick commercial break. I'll come back and then we'll talk a lot more about him, how he started his life, the struggles he has been through, and where he is today. Where does he even want to get to in life? Let's copy from him, not blindly, so that at least tomorrow we can also be like him or even more. I'll go for a quick commercial break. I'm back shortly after I introduce my guest. We go through the show. You see, tonight I have a personality in whom I am well pleased. I've been looking for him for a long time, because I believe that Francis Gadam says everybody has someone that you follow to become someone. I always believe that meeting him would make me, he will be my ladder. I'm going to follow that ladder and climb to heaven. And so it's going to be interesting, trust me, because we are going to have to learn a lot from this great man. And so wherever you are, please don't be greedy. Call your friend to call another friend and tell them that today I have with me Alhaji Hussein Yushao, popularly known as Haj FUZAK. Haj, welcome to my Northern Achiever.
Thank you so much.
I would like to first of all thank you for hosting us in your home. It's a beautiful home, and I wish I had a home like this, and I believe that someday if I'm going to have a house, it should be at least your house type or something a little better. How did you start life?
Thank you so much. And then thanks to your listeners. I started life as a young boy growing up. Early school, I attended the Pima Primary School. We were calling it the Pima Experimental Primary School. And then from there, I did 6 years there, from class 1 to 6.
Okay, so class 6 was which year?
That was 1989.
Wow.
Then I went to Vitin JSS, now Vitin Senior High. It was JSS then. So I went there from JSS 1 to 3. In fact, we were the last batch of the JSS. And of course, I think our second year, they were doing this educational reforms. So I think PNDC then, led by General Rollis, was then introducing this system we have today from the old system, the O and A levels that they used to do. So he kind of brought on board a lot of new secondary school to accommodate the numbers that he anticipated could be coming through. So the team for one was changed at that year, and then Kalisco and the likes of many district secondary schools that we have today. So we basically was the last batch of the JSS there. And I proceeded to business secondary school known as BISCO. And I pursue accounting from year 1 to year 3 that I've completed in 1995. I left the team. I wrote our BEC in 1992. And subsequently I gained admission to BISCO in 1993. And I completed BISCO in 1995. I think we're the third batch of this current system. Then I went to Institute of Management Studies in Accra. You know, they have the main school was in London, but they had a campus in Ghana at Newtown. So that was when I went to do a diploma in accounting. But in between my admission to IMS, Institute of Management Studies, I was working with Gold Coast Securities. Then I think November 95, after I have finished my last paper, and my business management tutor had implemented the person of Nuruddin Musa, popularly known as Rogers. So when I wrote my last paper and I went to discuss with him the papers, and during the discussion, but you are going to be home awaiting your results. Why don't you join me here? Because I'm alone, because and I know what you can do. So I said, no problem, master. So he gave me some materials to go and read to understand what he was doing there. So I went home, went through the materials, and the following morning I returned them to the office. Are you done? I said yes. Are you sure? I said yes. Okay, fine. Let me ask you 1 or 2 questions on it. So he asked me 1 or 2. I said it's true. You actually went through the material I gave to you. So you can prepare and come tomorrow and start work. So that was how I got myself to work with him at Gold Coast Securities. You know, the Ghana Stock Exchange was given birth to in 1995, and that was the same year this stockbrokers too was given licenses to support because we didn't have brokers, because we didn't have stock exchange then. So we pick it up from there, and then eventually I had admission to go to Institute of Management Studies. So I left Gold Coast, went to Institute of Management Studies. Instead of 2 years course, I was able to use 1 year to run the course. So I said, no, I will not come back to work with anybody at all. I will start something small. So that was how I started to be a private person.
You know, this is another thing that has confirmed what I believe you are. Very concise and precise. And, you know, I've learned a couple of things from you from afar, because I really have followed you for some time now, reading about you, trying to see what it is that you are doing that makes you that successful. Now, you talk about primary all through to Gold Coast Securities, all through to, you know, the tertiary levels.
Yes.
As if there was no difficulties. Like, what was some of the struggles, or what were some of the struggles that you went through, even in between these, you know, stages of going to primary, junior high? Or is it that your family, you come from a rich home?
Indeed, I had a very rich background. My father was a popular person, but unfortunately, he was not educated. So they didn't understand what education means. Because honestly, I never anticipated, or I never thought of being a business or a private person. I wanted to be a chartered accountant. That had been my dream when I was in school. But God knows best. And when I met Indum, Pakus Indum, one-on-one, you know, he was the owner of Gold Coast Securities. I took a lot of inspiration from that man. So I think the day I left his office, I didn't spend a week and I resigned from Gold Coast Securities, because I said, but if Indum could make it, let's say, and then we'll call him CEO and all these people, I said, why can't this also do? I remember there was this gentleman who was working with him then, Mr. Paul Chikata. He was a year senior to Indum at A-levels. And he was the PRO. So he was always shouting praises on Indum, blah, blah, blah. So when I came out from Indum office that very day, I said, oh, Mr. Chikata, I think when I get back to Tamil, I will resign. So why am I going to resign? He's a great man. It's good to work with great people. I said, oh, but Mr. Chikata, I believe I can also be a great personality. So I think the earlier I start, the better. I believe he started early, and that's why you are seeing him today. And I don't think it's going to be easy. I know that I'm going to go through some difficulties, but I know at the end of the day, I think I will still through. So I will resign. So when I came, and as part, because they were telling me that, oh, you can still be in school and then be working with us, because we know the kind of, because purely it was based on marketing and then tracks, because our people didn't understand investment in the first place. So
they needed someone they could trust.
They could trust. You know, somebody
and know that when something happens, they know who
exactly. You know, up to now, not we don't believe in those investments. So it was a difficult terrain. But as soon as I found myself working with them, things were different, because I was able to bring on board a lot of people, a lot of institutions to buy into the idea of investing in stock. I remember this man, may he rest in peace, Alhaji Selfu Kojo, then the chairman of Northern Regional GPRTU chairman. I remember I went to them and I told them that, look, there was a need, if they have excess funds somewhere, there was a need for them to invest in stocks. I think we were then floating the shares of, I can't remember, was it Top Industry or GCB, just Ghana Commercial Bank? Because Top Industry, we were the sponsoring broker. Unfortunately, we couldn't meet the target, so they were not listed. And when it happened that way, the firm that put itself as the sponsoring broker will lose, because we can't get that percentage that we will have taken from them. But GCB, we only were part of other brokers. We were not the leading broker or sponsoring broker, I should put it. So I convinced them, oh, they said, oh, are you sure? You people not run away with our money? I said, yes. Oh, Chairman, what are we going to look? These are the benefits. You become this, you become that, you become this. So look, you sit. Before I realized, everybody was in the room. Come and listen to this young guy. You know, look at that. Come on, to go correct you try. But we don't so no. So eventually, I got them to buy some shares. And when I got to the office, trust me, that time the money was full of briefcase. My manager said, "Hey, FUZAK, how did you make it?" I said, "Oh, I went to GPRTU." So, oh, we've been there several times. They refused to give us this. How come? So I was able to convince them and to tell them that it is good to do A, B, C, D. So they have bought into the idea and they put their money for us. And a lot of people, the military was not left out. Kamina Barracks, Bao Barracks, Air Force Base, we were able to bring on board a lot of them. So,
wow, it's an interesting story. And one thing I like about the whole thing is the fact that, as if I knew, you left somebody else's office to create your own. Because
exactly.
So from there, when you left Gold Coast Securities, you came back to Tamale. When you came back and resigned, what did you go into?
When I came back to Tamale and resigned, I went back fully to Accra. Okay. That was 1998. Okay. I went back to Accra, and that was the peak of my course at the Institute of Management Studies. Okay. And alongside, I started the construction. I started the construction, but I was hiding it from my parents because I think they wouldn't have been happy seeing me leaving school to do construction. So I was just hiding it little by little. So I remember one time my dad came to Accra and said, look, living in Accra is extremely difficult. So I would have wished to take you back home. I said, no problem. And you know, when it matters come like that, I don't argue. So I give him time. So no problem. So I left him and I went home. So because he was living in Newtown and I was then living in Adenta. So the following 2 days I came back. I was, oh, Dad, you see, the idea of me going back to Tamale is good. But I believe that things could be much easier for us in Accra than Tamale because there are no opportunities in Tamale. Yes, I'll be comfortable. Not at least.
But life will not be challenging.
Exactly, and I will remain like that till thy kingdom come. But I believe when you leave me here, with this kind of difficult terrain,
Little struggle
yes,
here and
I
there.
think I'm seeing that I can break through here then, Tamale. So think about that. Because one, getting job in Tamale is not as easy as getting job in Accra, because we have limited avenues in Tamale. But here, Accra is a place that we have so many options, so many avenues to.
Both private and public.
Exactly. So I was thinking that if you leave me here for some time and see how, so no problem then.
That's interesting. And you're talking about going to school while starting your construction plan. You know, how is it to start? What is it about construction? You know, I see, especially politicians today, everyone wants to be a constructor, a contractor, and everyone. You know, what does it take? How did you begin your own firm?
You know, first of all, I want people to understand that the name FUZAK is my father's name. He did the registration of the company FUZAK with his name. That's his abbreviation of his full name. And basically, he was into farming with that and transport business. So, and then sometimes building. So, Fuseni is my father's name. You know, Hussein. You know, the Bombers changed it to Fuseni. And then his father was called Zakaria. So he's called Fuseni Zakaria. So he take the FU from the Fuseni. And then the last, the letters from the Zakaria. And then join it together. Then he came out with the name FUZAK. But unfortunately, he never had any road certificate. He was not into roads. And his strength was in farming, mostly. I remember he was farming at a village around Togo called La Balga. When we were young, we used to, at a time, accompany him to the farm. He used to have a very large rice farm. But to become a contractor is not anything, let me use that word, anything special. Even you, even you in media can decide to be a contractor. One, you need to know what type of construction you want to do, because we have about 3-4 different type of construction. Some are into electricals, some are into supplies mainly, some are into building, some are into road construction, and others blend all the 4. But I am basically into road construction.
So we are going to go for a very quick commercial break, because I would want us to come and talk about how did you even get the contract license? You know, how did you start your very first contract? What difficulties were there in it? And how did you break through to becoming the popular FUZAK that everyone knows today? We go for a quick break, but before then, like I always say, I have a very, very nice dressmaker, tailor that we call them. You know, if you look at my outfit these past few weeks, you would see that the person sewing my clothes can sew the clothes of the president of even the United States. So wherever you are, you want a nice outfit like this, get in touch with Zach. He is my costumer. He would get you the best of clothes where you can wear to any occasion that you want. As you are watching the lower text appearing, whenever you see a shirt on one of the lower text with the shirt running around with the number, just pick the number, call him, and he will get you the best of clothing. I'm back after this commercial break. I thank you so much for staying alive and watching My Northern Achiever with me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli. Today I have an interesting personality, and we've already learned a lot in the first 20 minutes or so that we've done with him. A lot more is to come, so do not go away. Stay with me as we grill Alhaji FUZAK to telling us everything about him, his businesses, and every other thing that we may need to know. So Haj, let's come to talking about your contracting, you know, your contractor certificate. How did you get it, and how was your first job like? What was the struggles involved?
My first job came from Ministry of Agric. You know, I said earlier, my father used to do construction, but not onto roads. So most of his contacts, I was a person, sometime if he can't go, he will send me. So I happen to know some of his contacts. So there was this man, great man, Dr. Eche. He was a director of Animal Production Directorate under Ministry of Agric. You know, at that time, when a budget is read, for instance, every department had its budget under their ministry. So they will put it like one expenditure request and put it through Ministry of Finance, get their money, give it, keep it in their own accounts at Bank of Ghana, because all the departments were asked to open an account at Bank of Ghana. So, and then they will then determine as to what to do. They will award their own contracts, give their own supplies, and do things. I think that year was a difficult year, 1999. So I went up, and every day I would go and visit him. Every day, blessed day. So look, he used to call me by my first name. He's saying, I like the way you are. You don't give up, and you are so determined. By now, I could have given you a job to do, but unfortunately, our money hasn't come, and it's still locked up at Ministry of Finance, and we are in the last quarter of the year, and still we are struggling to get our allocation. So So I look at him. At that time, I think Moses Asaga was one of the deputies at Finance. So I can go and talk to Moses Asaga to see if we can be of help. There was the bomber man from Yendi called Mr. Fisini. He was also at Minister of Finance. So I went to him. So, Mr. Fisini, this is the situation. We have this money locked up here, and I needed it for Minister of Agri because I've been promised some job, but because they don't have the funds, they are unable to award that contract to me. And so there was one man called Mr. Bannerman at that time. He was in charge of Minister of Agri desk. Then he directed me to go and see that Bannerman and show me his office. So I walked to Bannerman. So we are done with everything. It's at the budget. So go to Director of Budget Office to find out. And I remember vividly at that time Major Tara was the Director of Budget. But I've never met him personally. I didn't know that personality, but I knew the name that he was called Major Tara. So whilst I was struggling to enter his office to find out from the secretariat how far was the file, he was coming up. So people were scared. So, the Director of Budget is coming up, and you are struggling to rub shoulders with him at the entrance. So eventually he called back, and he could see that I was so desperate. So I entered and said, "Oh, madam, good afternoon." So afternoon. So everybody was scared, looking at me. So I'm coming to see the Director of Budget. So everybody laughed. Now he said, "Oh, no man, you wanted to push me down." So sorry, sir. I didn't know you were the Director of Budget. So what brought you here? So I'm chasing this file, ABC. So he looked at me and said, "Okay, you go. Next week come." So I went back to the doctor. So, doctor, I've met the Director of Budget and said I should come next week. So he said, "Are you sure?" I said, "Yes." So the following week, I went back. And I think he told the secretary that anytime I come to chase this, they should let me come in. So when I went, so go to controller, and then call the secretary, so give him the copy of the warrant. I'm telling you, lo and behold, at that time, 25,000 cedis today. Well, no. Yeah, 25,000. Today, 25,000. 50 million. So it was a lot of money. So I went to control.
That was which year?
That was 1999.
Wow. 250,000 cedis was something.
25 million
Yes.
cedis was a lot of money. I went to controller. Fortunately, go to this place. Oh, we have worked on it. As it was like a magic.
Wow.
And within 2 days, I had the cash requirement, and I took it to Animal Production Director. In fact, when I was taking it back to him, I saw doctor coming from his office to the main ministry. So adjacent the SEP's headquarters, I saw his car coming. So I ran onto the road and stopped him. So he stopped and said, "Oh, doctor, I've gotten everything." Then he took his glasses and went, "So look, it's true. Go and give it to the accountant and go and come tomorrow. Your job is secured." Wow. So I went and gave it to the accounts officer. Everybody was looking at me as if I've done something wonderful. So the following morning when I came, I was given a contract of 30 million, 3,000 today. It was a lot of money. Supplies, stationaries. So that was how I started. So I went and executed the job.
Wow.
Came back and then he made them add me another one. In fact, before the 250 could finish, I had contract worth about 50 million at that time, 5,000 today.
Yes.
Out of that money. And I was grateful, and that gave me that confidence that I could. Then, bit by bit, I struggled and I got myself to Urban Rose, Amasaman branch. May he rest in peace. There was this Frafra engineer called Captain Albert Atiri. He really helped me, and his maintenance engineer at that time too, may he also rest in peace, Eric Amwa. He picked me as his personal friend, and weekends we could drive around their jurisdictional area to look at areas that needs drains, regraveling, and those things. In fact, we started this works order. That was how we were calling it, and it was 50 million. And payment was not as difficult as it is today because the agencies were, or the department were paying there, so they will give them the money bulk from the road fund, and they will effect the payments there. So
wow, it's interesting. Particularly for the company, Chan nunda gbani bjala kapara bumbuma.
So
I'll put bjala you know, the name man sa share kapunu construction ha lenta paga do shakar mala kaman. Bulungo ba dia nyang mama kama kapulu kala la bisi.
Cause construction, ben shi alon kunyer nyevlen yela lare. Because Sylvancy yere to migration carbon capital intensive. They could yela lap shell tuma tam comes a and so coming yet him share sasha woma lare yela mele the non trumpam zanti gomlanti because the summer pam bianca the yo so the chiamga construction sasha atin jangoma kare yela too. Because niveau shaban ta sama kaman bank for instance a jara ta pangla bank ne ba maladab se shaban yanta ga lama tu bila alarma da man dukul nung dan dur ma bi amma lam maladab sa da malaf marashanga da interest ne nye dirinya interest ma ni la ponganu anya ka interest ma chance ze pompia anya ka no bo la shana penal interest because l'arma websa hagarya so ran garma da tabdar wurin yi ban shamba so ri ta pagun wa abai de in baga mankace ya to shanga atin yalla yila nalma
Masha
yila mi tilma marna amma
oh jirja but there's yala pamna ko bian katiyan vv kamane akubira construction ko ba ka tin ya karma la politics ba pa ala rufune but before that one, who can enter politics?
Politics pala profession, come on to ma. Head ukul la didn't just open ma. So din ka vibia man solo sune. Ka mi su do bore party shele. Anto zang la solo ma. Nke zang balance ya gbantaba zang ya hankal pataba ntanta tabni mana dan ya politics ma
okay
the color shop no yala sham zaza balba de kapyam sa da kun yala nyirma su bora ka ba su bora
ba tan shi sa so liam ya be wo
liam nyama
okay all right no sir that means what would not do one yelnya
yel karle
dogora ja ku da azuma da fa shanya ba lo de do so na wa shi gora to
don't put your sham
okay but you know politics in the north here the malada da different from that of
south
you know politicians especially in the north the man like kamani but so the line nirgo to my the problem karmala kama yakaza general sombu but to be fair take you aside because my nye anu ye fashion until nirba Mama for ya man darga and come on, let's take for instance on Saturday the no miss number lunch and you pledged to give 10,000 Ghana cedis. 100 million. You know, but I want the whole cut 1,000 cedis. You know, 10,000. And so I know Boko will sound nearby. And this is not the first time he's been doing this for a lot of people. He's a philanthropist by all standards. And Kamani team male politicians nearby Nuba to do what I'm going to be I'm sure to now the fitness shelter on the woman. Now, advice in Kakuman on the up and coming politician. What to go to an advice in Zakura? Zabe when you listen, come on, come to and up on time. Wole kunya motivation kama aya strong so be aya strong shaba kama kara the most rabe kara bia
one banye politician kura zo ne bunye za pala baza hatu ya ne bugum yeto asheltin yen yoro because strong sim kan yebu strong te ka to bati betin bishop lo so I bum bor amin di strong sim dan fane the butu kayan strong so Karamuksra because song some they was strong that na ko song paga ba minye politician cross ma nyirban song ba hakap to pasha ba hal ina ku giran tipe line voter song ko santa ba dom ka kon bor ba ma ban ba vote la nyirma dan nya ban kan be shapulo ma dirin ya ba chama kazan vote la nyirma ba na bian be shapulo ma duzo lalan yin vo shabi bambe tuon ngoma balan sa'andat bambe tongo no dibi pa bambe zuksan wo zone bambe tongo kutu male anye
I get it okay
anye ban yele ni constituencies ma dan yela ka goma ka min ta ala makanya goma because su kammala o boundaries ta targa ka boundaries ma ta targa ka salo biyar fune kaba piga ma kammala tahmani an yi baye to ashin pune duzo da malabu kata nallalan nirba ma da ban kwamba mi nganga le nastara yitla yinga kai sambanna bun votra ngoma ba hachi jira zo so tiru milala kammi ban kaman tunnan sun tattarga mbatihanir na nantapa donc du ka bazang zang kama northern region for instance banato pick 1 MP but purna dangasi yai one constituency ma dan yaba ngbal hal ka tizani 18 yele so dan ya 18 ma do go hanan yin fun ganar ya mal shakar malo wal landla ayi kana tan nan so kan ma mu yale dan yan nan ka jilma garbalge do ko gumban bor ngo demi ko gumban nong ngo twama I pina northern region kallalan yele en yi dan lambe to politics for northern region ba bande NDC ne dagbambe in general dan malla dabyam shalm biyana ba nirna ban lihin yalla dabyam ma yamang yerban nare biya go fune to mini ni ya yamang yerban nare biya go fune ma ban shanga ba can dede ka so kan fokashiya ka tun fokashiya wadi pashale ban nong ma ban min ban nong yeto ashama ka dede ka ban nong ma ban yamang ngo yiri yelba simisi bom sha attention bis pasha dan droit be da attention na kar hankalna kar mala kwa tan nong yeto ashlo ma yeto abja ka ta zon yiri fune to ma kun la yamang ma yelbu de barna de tabyame kallala ban sha'ran nan dagban ma pon pon di patpela gana za do me ti zara anya John Raja president ban sha'ran da bitin ban fune nirba yek pam kama jak kam ngoba chang dede de tweno ngonongo anyi la ban ma no vusan kana zo hanya fi shanga din yitin ban opfone na ji lela do bin za abjami zambela ma because la bani yen yik su chop de buto cause bole yik su chop Abdul-Jalil yi min amin ne amal yamangle biya kam ka ngi to shanga nung da ka so bi yer shele ka na zo anyi tie mi to pass stage shele
ka fa ya
mbla be ikia nam jam wa za yim yer cha yana tin so di tin nung de la kala ni ba gal se gare bum bor na be nung da ma tong ba ma ku chu shine
ti an gun to fo kwam kalamna ti lamna ami NDC chairman talngoma Alhaji nun de la kuribi wo benanda ku bubla ton fune ton bo nyanya na don ku papa ka to wom ka diga Alhaji hankal shalon yan ba zan titinam di pola ka to dulo na pontam sa ti labgo ni fo manga so abiare te janka tan ati lab na pompo
The battle line has been drawn. 11 beautiful ladies battling for one prestigious crown. Yes, this is Miss Damba 2021. Who wears the crown? Is it gonna be Salma from Yindi, Rabi from Bimbila, Taiba from Sa'anargu, Swadi from Damu, Mandea, Ushe Tamale, Tiyumba, Sakasaka Tamale, Wuni, Nalirgu, Salma, Wadke Tamale, Sumvela, Buku, Salpawani, Pavlup, Maltiti, Nanto. Join us from Friday, August 20th and every other Friday as they battle it out for the ultimate prize. Venue is Ghana Hotel, Tamale, off the Tamale Yindi Salaga Road. Time is 7:45 p.m. and rate is free.
come with a nose mask as all COVID-19 safety protocols will be observed.
Performances will telecast on Sagani TV on every Saturday at 9 p.m. and on My TV on every Sunday at 8 p.m. Come cheer your favorite and remember to dial *800 *505 hash and follow the prompt to vote for your favorite. Miss Damba 2021 is proudly supported by Minazin Food Spices, Chipra Artworks, Sagani TV, My TV,
Ghana Hotel, Sontaba Ghana.
with media support from Miss Damba 2021, showcasing our culture.
Okay, por so na kubo kama etra nyi kubo Sagani TV sa asha teja won yula Abdul-Jalil Naabeli. My not na chiva ka bo ma so motivina Alhaji FUZAK mbala oyon dondon pune. Now, chatikana to kule bo anya. Be ya na bola Northern Regional NDC chairman. Amel Dokuri.
ai mbanang dokuri
Abada means that niruma mbwa na yina ma. So be yina ti ya ne kama to ko ma tuduru ngona mpuli yina ti ya Alhaji FUZAK tin ninja shamba ni nuto ku je regional chairman stale kama ne kare the party ba change ya ka zan titi anyina
ai bedon ku cheba na songba
no, is it that Akubunung are interested in, you know?
mbanang interested in frontline politics
Okay.
because jeri restrict me from benching nangbo abang la but the tarman and the male candidate and then but tarman and the chum part matuma and the partially not tum the chairman shaba of the with NDC
Yes.
over the year Garcia and the last chairman of my shop changchia come on for instance mba Alhaji Simane Zakare I Tiyankana Power 2008 I play a very great role in supporting him and party can be on in strong front line benching number phone nangda on kan na ga kazo ka kana nan nang da bin yarma
Okay.
mobile ban kana nang da bin yarma nta ta bet mino butum nuna part of my galsima so mbe war nam bi in front line politics so politics huna biak kan biar fune the kadap from Monday to Sunday biar fune and within the 24 hours man until high biar fune because it had a bit
Then no nyasa pa so things ya sasha 2024 before now is something ya you know to me the parent number so to me coming John no close pa is John coming back
oh you know
2024
oh you know taka kan de dipa nguna gana mi blan shi agusuri pa nguna ka NDC nam bor John Pompo. Tangbarma, the Pagomi, Tangbarma, so Panther John. Ongina. Nangafra.
Maybe I never break it.
I bet them to me. How to break for my God. But million.
So that no form of another form of one. No half more cutting than your man. If you don't 3.5 my
how to break for but me. I see is the Kunya Hankel Biafon. The Kutonanka leads elections with about 500,000 votes. Kaka claim majority in parliament. The Kutono.
So are you really saying, come on, this cinema, no one in yellow you trash? 2021. Were you serious about the fact that I was young?
But someone now was the parents swing yells when there was high bones ma, the bones with some more, but me never.
Okay.
How about what but the cat dispute. The Kunyela, come on, the part in the ma, and that's one way. Part ma in not to wobble them. Camilla me. Camilla Nirma. Kaba pretend that I can't, but she come on, tell about me. I'm at the depths of my party. Thinking that a shot, you know, bang, bentum part mat, but not shell. But benching come quality, but tell me, I'm going to mamma shall cut yet. Hey, mammy, so not to a number shall. Cut a quang solo, can yell it through. And probably a vapor. The pattern, how we're going to boot the pattern on why to be has on taba.
I made it my doom.
Kobia Pune. I am born. Shabon non dilemma with the intention that President Mamma you feel it, but cannot lead the party. I mean, ye, Ben Champion, Tin Chong's or Kumuna yell cutted super pump. I would dwell it.
I put you
So Baku dweller. Didn't you shambella? None never quabble. Caraquama, Carbon Adam walks away. I'm was a cousin swan. Casopian Casobocule, de la Colma Mossy. I mean, make her them now, Angma de la Colma. The unwood Azel yet die. The Lamin yellow. I can't, you don't cannot do what yellow.
2019.
2019.
Yeah, 2019.
Cannot do what you name. Or as a child. So the land yellow. So I would dwell so. Now so Baku dwell absent. Absorbing no yet to a shelma. To go to no cabia part of Punica part my opposition. Can I yet running government into Roma? Can I yell at Chongo? Rabbi opposition Chongo. Marshal Kamara.
Yeah.
Either Amendment Tunda, can you mold?
Yeah.
Iron works at
you go up a
Ma.
Calling you serious fashion.
Interva. Being Karatumda and Wachuta. Kapaban to Machuta Pune. Let me yell the cut day be dark.
But that aside, is it that what will you couldn't and shadow who on a carbon 2024 be Mambu Makiba?
Abdul-Jalil. What would I do 2020?
Makuto left
Alhaji, when that 2016, it was clear that by 2016.
And everybody saw.
Drag cannon one pino. How the moment you want, but more on Alhaji, yeah, I chose to play for public war.
Parliamentary system.
Somebody would deal with a margin of 100,000. Kaka majority parliament. Started to deal with a margin of 500,000. For instance, last elections, but 2016, Bradley with 1 million difference. Come over close about 60 MPs difference.
Yeah.
67 difference. So when the D500 granted them
35, 34, 33.
Everyone can do the mathematics. Captain Kai one.
But the Tonya Camari, none do pound Roma. Go empty the mammy that I live pound Roma. I will near mass with Java. Kali kuna put nana doing.
Sket and blast you could to Chandler. To you politics for me.
Okay.
Sket and blast could to Chandler.
Okay.
Harry been to cut impact of the payment one. Try about 153 systems. But could that is I can reason. Not to boy the system. Come out for instance, to man off. be touch myself mbelama touch myself but this reason why I'm you come out ma esikado takwa enswem sefiosu zabso upper west tum tsaba bin ma pulama to kala ko so ka ku chi don ku fashion karon yeto abiginan kaman able ausla constitution how kumsin ne gba na balance stuff ni man you see a whole lot of binyara that take place and yet still but to nyamba majority ma so ndwana umi yen dargi ndira dala ko ndo am narado mamang mi tinje tamsho ngondazo on da imagination 2017 to 2020 kandela jiba ko la internationally omile
amama ko manya free senior high school the northern cabinet no pa one plate one that what is one factory yela ba yaya one constituency 1 million mama break it ma ban ba break because oi aje bin ne to akarsha ba
enti abne ni program so be
high day tonfu na ba ka bin da asphalt no ganda bin ka
alpha to matrenjil te ndir magba kan go manda nyera ay bi garam kula yang ndi to akan ta matfa so de yun ka to 1 million views ma generally le bona shift mo Africa za hade pe kan
mam biam nyera 118 district hospitals
kat tanda pam yam kaluma wo belle miyam tanda pam yam garan yo na barne check up tatba
to wa gon ma ni mai ya shirya nta a jin triya dynamic shawo ma da wurin ne gana nan ban ba akarya ni tangbarwa ba ciyar yarka
tangba gura ka tangban champion yara tangban turin shan da tamla yala ta zo one daren security yan buwa me muna zami tangban wa security gura kar zai fufo.
But I call security index. I could call the mayor. I was also doing 40 other percent. 48.9 or 49%.
Okay, after
well, mommy, but yeah, but there are to drop it.
My the year I drop ma. Katara drop you go to the Hey, so economy. Zone ya thing hand over. Alan the dollar. So Alan $.
Yeah. The dollar is about 6 cedis.
6.02.
I'm a player and then didn't you man na garla.
Kaban so number bang we to on.
I thought that yeah. To be fair,
so
because you are governing a country.
Can I make a comparison to
you? Shaba. Then you 6 more, then I know 10.
So in year and the by the end of this month, import this Munkabra cattle by 50%.
Yeah.
So by year number work comes on 50% map by Karnang 100. So I double shut down a zoom be and tree. There's a lack of
the same
amount. Because importance for Shabani freight forwarders but trust Makaba year one canna. So I've been here in your 5 cities because I on duty 2 cities so. Kana ku hadalla abang latin sang shelna kago tole because the duty is going to 4 cities from 2 cities. So difficult times are ahead. Then down the accountant try melted the account message so much was saying one day I compensation harder days that come enterprise. Wow. So them part harder days they come enterprise.
Wow, we're having a very, very, very interesting conversation with Alhaji FUZAK, and monitoring from afar, I thought Kamane, Oma and Kunyala, politics and money, but I have seen a different side of him today, and I believe that whoever is watching at home is also seeing something different, and we are learning a lot from this honorable human being. Chatika Tintiga Asasu Nishare Nazanti Tipipola. Because the Zoya Pam Kati Pam Janchiko in Boa, FUZAK Mobile Pam, FUZAK non the Lango, then I also want to be like you. Gula cartoon and no Katu Bika ambition, Maka, Palakama, well and well in the Kayanki.
To Vielpama Boa Shelma. One Katal Yele Nabona Pasi Mumbel Biason. Don't Vielpam. because the chermika biagu bere ni la tanga kama din shangoma inda ba saksi ka shab bere gira garba pam man kala la problem bet to pumpo bema da bien shal dum melman yela ya mangle ba pam biane ba ji bukata ku bo borla simsu bo mashanu shortcut ba borna ban shakam ban yele kama ka soci en yi ban sha'an lam biane ka to tuna bi do kam so na mukos so na jin do biya ka ba tahri bi ma za vielle so kam do ala biya ka tahna bi ma o tinye bi ma ko so pal kam mage so kam do ala biya ka tahna bi ma ti xnan te goro ber yung yi page ka tue ta mel tampun tinye ban sha'an nan na pumpon da ban man biane be sa bien ben yen take over from the generation woman because ban be age shele kad nan ya to ashele woman da malad da biam tun da yi sirna ara te fon kampun da malak kalan le ban be la biya guma braba nan koma braba ar to te fon shaka ba population ba pagi 0.2% pumpon ar te fon da ma funa la ni gira life shele woman danin bon da garni vumanga fon ma fune so the minute chen shama zo tin chat interview ma dle bif ma bi shen yela bala na kata chen so ka za chang ba mun din namba biane to ba mi bin tin to pun bi zo chen le la ka to ku chena ka shab zan ti za she so ti le nyang ma da ban man hope biane ami bi do man kari bi do tramana kari yirna bum submani de malada biam so de nyela gogat tale nta tzaha because I lit tramadol then very common pam wona de mi barna de garko ke min vari azan lanta ba تبي شباب بفان بيتنا بفان تبي يعللا هاكو نياني فم مغلق هو بيعرفوني لو زوب زوم ناون سو كتن سو بيعنو سو نتزاتي يجينا بيتي زاتي بياني كمل سو دو نتنيانغا بزوم ناون سو لو زوب أسانزاني ربما northern region gogal ganyele zangtete ta yina tutuhi fa lalaban ma ba halan da bisa because I cannot command for instance Saudi and believe him that Ghana wona ka musun sibi ka tuto mal prostitution joints ka jamati yina ta zaya ko harba manga ka sokuto yira shale da biya pam nan mo ba yimna ka ta stop swan nyon kuntu lalaban ma ka tugum la tong juene ka to nyel tongo da biam bien pam
I think hajin ya to ashe mo ma da shirnya because bi shir ko ne kama tamale be naya da don kul papa ka ne jamilo line bo ka nirbo mi ka chante darba gobada you know it's something that the community shirkum de la shepulo ka to nyel tongo but chat ku ka to ko nyanya da mata sama zo no ku ba a final idea to akwan kwa show zo ku da dare an ku mention as an pai paran kwa ko gat na
hey to biene nang manje bchapsur urugo arbo may to abjefu politics fin ka to asi yamangle timala internet problems to part of northern region the eminent demi bi shel na pala mamman so bazabra na wunzu wunzeno ng jeno bot patma ngba landirma 100% alle 2018 na 2008 elections MP ramela one seat then dan yet char konkwa kat mel 30 seat ramela 31 constituency then ka bi'ab negi ka pama kane wabu pama ka chanta ng by elections ndile pai ka zon ka tien zane nutmon wabga ta pergla 50-50. Kara to the claim na to stronghold nyo northern region. Amad la pa to stronghold. Duzo lela ben yang wa katene yina na to tuhi unku kan NDC kara labna kan northern region labatlanya NDC stronghold pa volta region so. Ngumi kam bor no gulela swelma na wonzo milla ndirma tin kwek par jumbuane. Kamal Central, for instance, tried the low over 20,000 votes. Kara the shina hale mbinu sani en shegi Kamal Central was only 16,000 votes difference. So man baraba yusu ne shegi. Kati vogue mutala kanata zangzale. Ka votes ma drop in a drastically to about 7,000, 8,000, little about 7,000. So that means that Kuma Damba. Unlike Sanaruba. So the Leben Yaruma as a party, the 20 strategy, bullet check on one no Wulakatian, the leadership mapune, the current party mutuma, the Biara in Tumle, research, no organization. Research my young warrior, you command Mr. Bomb shall diagnosing, command a doctor, then you want to do more. Organization team okay wo kati en dwele no rescue lungo because ali myang ko about a year to election I couldn't do me continue myang because of this special that big man kan so ku ben yele mi wa ja kan kar de ben yaran nan da ka ku ja ha ka tukon myang tu shi la pe kan ta ku shi la entente shi karga he o to di kra hiwo yani so le ben chang ma no to access nyanya onnan ma
the shirma impact
medical tu mbanga to konkarga ka tampul gar gushao 3 months ile sha kai tampul munna ma hey tu mbanga to kashiya botu no patu tumala kallala ka hasman da tumma kallala ka zo karatu ma kallala ka Alhaji mai da ratu ma zo dabjan biyar fune aku to zan a interest na zan pil party part man ya collective shem ya viamba na wuzo tin nung election so nyirba lan ko mon je viar fune karata la nya bele labna nyirba but between 8 in P election man ku nagi between 7th 8th 9th nyirba 8 kam nyonku ka ku ya bu su part ma ka tu kuma ka ce ban suru kap tu dure kap biale so aku to man nyirba nya via na zan bo la'ar ku ji a yale na biya da yik sazale abin yele zo ama biya da yik sazale zo part ma nguna yamang lefa na zo northern region za ban so bazabra din de le ka za kuma bu bodla part ma jenule na zo har man yen yele do ma ba ka du ma terbu jure amma an to nye ngure din de nan ka gbelge za na zo menamba because part man yete tin ba min yele na wannan nam duniya ban sha kammalar sa this boom politics this sambo.
Alhaji, it's been wonderful speaking to you, and I'll say a very big thank you, for allowing us into your home. It's a beautiful home, and I thank you so much for it. I believe that a lot of the youth out there, would learn a lot from what you have shared with us. Many are those who, turn down our invitation because they feel that they don't want to even talk about themselves. You have come on the show because you really want people to benefit from you. My prayer to God is that may He actually send you to where you want to get to in life, and may He give you long life and good health. Thank you so much for being on the show. Do you have any appreciation you want to show anyone out there?
I think I salute every Muslim, Northerners in general, and then my workers, particularly my secretary.
She's a hard-working secretary. Because the way she's been following me, trying to put everything right.
Yes.
By myself, I salute her.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are lucky.
Okay.
All right. So, viewers, this is where time is going to allow us today on My Northern Achiever. It's always been insightful, thoughtful, and very motivational and inspirational. And today has not been an exception. Alhaji FUZAK is a real role model. And for me, I am always going to be on his toes until I climb the ladder to where I want to get to. And so when you see me close to him after this interview, I've also come for my Kube water. You know, right? So until I come your way again next week, it has been me, Abdul-Jalil Naabeli, Jawise, and you know, Jacob on the cameras today. Latif, as always, with me here, and every other person who has made this production a success. I thank you so much. Meanwhile, Miss Damba 2021 is on. The voting starts on 27th, that is today, of August 2021 at 8 p.m. So start voting for whoever you think is your favorite. Do not wait until when it is too late before you say that your candidate did not win. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. we are at Ghana Hotel, where you can also come and watch the performances for free and choose your favorite. And remember, the hall is too small. It's just taking 200 people maximum. So you come early, you get a seat. If you don't come early, you are turned back. Until next week, I come away again.